Welcome to a special edition of the Carolina Weather Group. James Brierton here in Charlotte with the legendary Larry Sprinkle.
Thank you for including legendary.
Legendary. It's on your business cards.
It is? The new ones I haven't seen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But
Thank
thank you
you
for coming way out of your way to meet us at the place where we both work during the day.
Finally.
Finally.
How many years has this taken now?
Seems like we probably
Yeah.
should have done this sooner. But this
No.
week, we are celebrating your 40th anniversary.
Hard to believe, I know.
Lots of special events. As this is going out to the world, you've probably just thrown out the first pitch at the
I
Charlotte
have.
Knights game. Yeah, so
If I can just get it across the plate, that's the main thing.
that's your
That's
point.
my
I was gonna say,
goal,
have you
yeah.
been practicing? It's Monday. You got 2 more days
I
until
had no chance to. I don't have a baseball.
we could fix that.
There's not one around this building anywhere.
Yeah.
So I've been throwing rocks. That doesn't
Don't do it.
well.
No,
and
don't
I've
do
had some
that.
problems with that,
Yeah.
so I stopped doing that. Yeah.
But we have events for your loyal fan base coming up throughout the week.
Yes.
So if anyone missed you at Charlotte Knights on Wednesday, Friday at Amelie's at South
At Park Road Shopping
Park
Center.
Road Shopping Center.
Yeah,
Okay.
Amelie's, you know how good they are. I mean,
They're
the
delicious.
pastries, best in the world
Yep.
over there. Coffee is excellent. 8 to 10 a.m. Variety and Amelie's at Park Road Shopping Center. There's plenty of parking, by the way. at
There's
Park Road
great
Shopping Center.
parking. And in case you're like, there's an
Yeah.
Amelie's, it's around the back.
Yes, it is. The backside there. Yeah. But look forward to that. Come on out and we'll share some coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe
Shield-
several.
Shield Museum on Saturday?
Saturday, the Show Museum Saturday morning. And then we are at the Speedway in the afternoon.
For the auto fair.
Yeah, for the auto fair.
Okay, so lots of great opportunity to come out and tell Larry how much you love him. 40 years here at WCNC. But this also ties in, you'll have a role change coming up here at the station.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, after I've been at the station 40 years, 27 of those years on the morning show. And that means the alarm clock goes off at 1:15.
I'm just going to bed at 1:15.
It would be nice to do that. Back in another life, I did do that. So it goes off, and it's the most obnoxious. I'm going to smash the alarm clock on the air, by the way.
Yeah,
at
I
some
look forward
point.
to that.
And so, you know, after 27 years of getting up that early and being a part of the morning show, it was time to step into another direction and allow my good friend and great meteorologist, Chris Mulcahy, to come in. We work together
You do.
every day. He's doing traffic and weather. I'm over in this area right here.
Yeah.
We have 2 different computers we use here. So we're together, we're friends, and he starts Monday, and he'll start right on this show, on our morning show, and he's there, and I'm sleeping late.
But he'll
For a
be
change.
watching. He'll certainly be
Yeah.
watching. I'm reaching out of you, Larry. I don't know
Yeah.
if this is the exact one or not, but will there be like a ceremonial passing of the clicker?
There will be that, among other ceremonial opportunities
Yeah.
on Monday. One of our many clickers that we have.
There's lots of clicker there,
that
clicker there.
Most of them work most of the
Most
time.
of the time.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the part that's more difficult is the fact that all the people that I know that watch this station, WCNC, and you know, they get used to you being there.
Yeah.
And so it's those people I'll miss, but Chris will be there doing a great job. And I'll still be on
will.
television doing a lot of different projects. I'll still continue to do all the tailwagger segments, all the feature reports. In fact, I have a chance to do more of that. And then some other segments as well on the morning show. So I'll still be around here at the station. And, you know, maybe I'll have a more 7 to 5, 6, I don't know.
Human hours.
Human, yeah, real hours.
You've started in the last couple of years doing some of those community stories. So
Without
we've gotten
a doubt,
a
yeah.
taste of
Yes,
theater openings,
Yes.
car shows,
Historical things, all
things.
about Charlotte, but there'll be more opportunities, and I'm really excited about that. You know, this new phase of being able to get out in the community more as well.
Yeah.
I love doing that, and because of my hours, it limited me from some opportunities, and now I'll be able to spend 12 hours a day doing that.
If it feels like it limited you from any opportunities, they were not obvious to the rest of us because I feel like you were constantly working.
Yes.
Larry's here from sunrise to nearly sunset.
Yeah, maybe, like I said, maybe I'll have regular hours now.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that during the pandemic, when there was a lot of concern about crowding and how many people were in the building, we were like physically kicking you out of the building
Every
for
day.
quota reasons. But,
Every
like,
day, yes.
Larry loves being here and loves talking to the audience. What has it been like for you, Larry, over 40 years here at the station and radio before that to connect with the community?
I mean, you know, that, like you say, radio. So I've been in Charlotte most of my adult life in radio before this career. So, you know, my entire life has been spent most of it doing mornings, but this community has changed a lot and has grown, obviously. But the personal contact is so important, and it's something to me personally has been just part of my life, is to be out among people. I'm very curious, I'm the kind of, I like to learn about people, regardless of who they are, what they do. Everyone has a story. And if you're a great listener, you can learn so much from people. Yeah. And we literally need to learn every day. And so from all those in this community, regardless of what they do, where they are, it'll give me this new opportunity to be out among people. I love people, and for me, that's just part of life, is being out there, meeting, getting to know people, and working with various charity organizations, kind of giving back to the community.
40 years here at the station. You mentioned learning every day. So for anybody who's thinking about getting into this field, is it safe to say you continue to learn something new every day?
There's an old saying, the more you learn, the more you need to know. And especially in weather, it's that the technology changes, the information changes, the fact that we share so much knowledge among each other. And in our weather department, I mean, I think, it's the finest, with the team that we have here. We learn from each other, and you grow every day. So, yeah, I mean, you walk in and, you understand everything basically, but there's always something new to glean, something new to learn. And with the information that's out there today, I mean, it's unlimited. Yeah. The ability to learn, to grow, and to be a part of the community and the science of meteorology.
Okay, without saying internet, because that probably is a really obvious choice for what piece of technology made a big impact in your life over the last couple of decades. Right. What other piece of technology would you say, when you look at the way your career changed over the years, really made an impact to the way you do your craft?
I mean, obviously that. I mean, well, you.
That's why I had to start it.
You have to say.
Now you're talking to idiots on phones.
I know. Yeah.
I'm the idiot, not the
I
audience.
still
just
enjoy
to be clear.
the big monitor, the nice keyboard and everything. But yeah, I mean, obviously that's the first. I remember the very first technology that we had was called the Guinness Skinner. It was a very elementary form of technology.
Okay.
And I look back on what we created with that, and it looks like something very elementary, maybe even below that, maybe kindergarten. And I wouldn't even want to show anybody the maps we made back then. But yeah, that's it. I mean, it's there. I mean, there's so much of that has changed our lives, and obviously the radar technology as well.
Being able to actually see what's happening out there.
See what's happening as it is, see where it is, where it's going, the type of precipitation, the volume of it, the extent of it, the speed of it. I mean, our ability to see severe weather, tornadoes and whatever, that's all improved so much. I mean, back in the early days, if you go back 40 years ago, there was still a lot of guessing, and a lot of that went on. And with the old radar technology, I remember the radar that we had in the old building over off Hood Road, in that part of town, in Hickory Grove section. We had a very small radar on site, and it was so technologically bad that if you didn't know what you were looking at, you would go, "My gosh, look, it's pouring down rain." Actually, he was picking up the leaves on the trees.
Oh, I feel like you sneezed too hard.
Without a doubt. You couldn't fine-tune it to get rid of that. So you had to walk outside. Oh, it's clear. We're not going to use the radar today.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I can think of a lot of iconic stories that you've shared over the years, but for you, what are some of the most iconic moments?
The obvious would be September 22nd, 1989. That's the most obvious.
Hugo.
Hurricane Hugo, not in this building, in the old building, in the Hickory Grove section again. Hugo hits Charlotte, where I'm on the air, and a 1,000-pound cable connected to the tower next to the building snapped, hit the roof, came through the ceiling. So we had about 500 pounds of ceiling fall to my left as I was facing the camera. You don't see it because we had a lockdown camera in the studio, but I react to it. My eyes are over here.
Looking around.
We just had a tornado. I mean, we just had a hurricane hit here, and the studio ceiling just caved in.
A maximum wind, sustained winds, are 80 miles an hour. We've received gusts up to about 100 miles an hour. Shaw Air Force Base. I've been distracted because, as a lot of people are experiencing, part of our ceiling just collapsed in here. This is a very serious system that is going through Charlotte right now.
So Rick Jackson is in the newsroom at the building. He goes, "Larry, let me ask you a question. I know that the ceiling just Larry, we'll get back to Larry. Larry is on his hands and knees crawling out of the studio at 100 miles an hour. And so I thought that was it. I thought that
seemed like a good choice.
It was a good choice. Now, luckily, the building didn't cave in on me, but I thought that was going to happen. I was going to be the first to just go in the act, live on the air.
The ceiling and the wire itself would be a problem. Then there's all these lights and scaffolding and everything else.
Yeah, I think this building is a lot more secure than that building right there. I mean, then there are the other moments, because if you go back in your career in the business. I mean, the first time that I was covering, when they go, Larry, we need to send you to the beach. We've got this storm coming in. And so they sent me to, that particular one was near Carolina Beach. I can't give the name, but it was back in the 80s. They sent me to cover hurricane, and I was there live on the air. And, the technology was not very good. I mean, the signal was not very good. You had wired microphone, wired
big mast up into the sky.
Oh, big mast, yeah. And you're standing out there, and I mean, I'll never forget. I was going, as you can see, waves are kicking up behind me. We're getting wind gusts about 70, 80 miles an hour, and you may be embellishing that just a little bit to give it a little dramatic effect. Don't tell. I didn't say this, but no, that right there was a moment I'll never forget. That first time. And then I did a couple more. Then I said, well, let's send somebody else down there.
Tap
you're getting sand blown at you at 100 miles an hour.
I was standing at 15, 20 mile per hour wind gusts at the Charlotte airport the other day, and there was no embellishing needed for 15 to 20 miles an hour, never mind hurricane force winds.
That's exactly.
I heard in your interview with The Observer the other day, you talked about how Steve Smith demanded to know, the former Panther, demanded to know if Larry Sprinkle was your real name. But what I took from that story was another mystery, which was that if he got a chance to see your driver's license, he's the first person to have any remote idea of how old you are. And while I'm not going to ask you that question.
He may not have seen that, I'm not sure.
That was the first time I heard that story.
Yeah.
Are there any other grand stories that have yet to be revealed to the world?
Oh my gosh.
Because this is your chance. This is the platform you've been waiting for.
This right here?
This right there. Right there. Yeah, that tiny little dot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, look at that. That's amazing.
I know.
Yeah, I never told with Steve Smith. It just, as I was sitting there, they were talking, I was thinking, and he did. He said, he did say, has anyone never not believes you? And that when I was thinking, gosh, back in time, well, yeah. And he was adamant. I mean, and he took the driver's license. Went, no, you got to change this.
Your
too.
fake ID.
Yeah. In the world today, you could do that.
As I wrap this up, let me ask you about sitting here, because you went from radio to TV.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, when you went into TV, it wasn't even weather; it was other things. And then you moved into doing TV weather.
Yeah.
When you first started doing TV weather, did you think you'd be sitting here in 40 years?
You know what? The thing about 40 years, I never at any point in my career in radio or television, looked ahead chronologically thinking, I'm going to work here 5 years or 10 years or 2 years. It's never been part of my thought process. It just happened. All of a sudden, someone said, you've been here almost 40 years. I went, no.
Blink of an eye.
Yeah, then I think, wait a minute. 1985, you're right. 40 years ago. No, I never imagined that I would. It never was, like I said, never thought of the thought process that I'm going to stay here 5 years or 10 years. I'm just here, and for the most part, I've loved every moment of being here at this TV station in all the incarnations, because we've had several different incarnations over the past 40 years, and if you go back far enough, even at different call letters. Yeah, we went by another set of call letters back when it first came.
For anybody who doesn't know, Larry's like our station historian.
Yes, if you need to know anything about the station,
so many of those incarnations,
so many people and changes and managers and all that stuff right there. Yeah, I can tell you things that no one else knows. Now we can do that.
Oh, that's a paid extra.
That's right. That's another time. Yeah.
You should go to Amelie's on Friday and ask him about them.
I will tell you for sure.
My last question for you, Larry, and it's maybe more of a compliment than a question, but I'm curious to hear your reaction. I feel like we have met so many viewers out at community events,
right,
which you are a frequent presence at, and so many people, regardless of when they graduated, how old they are, they always say, I remember when Larry Sprinkle came to my classroom and you made such an imprint on them, whether it was a month ago, a year ago, a decade ago. How does that make you feel?
I don't think it's a better compliment than people, like, for example, quite often nowadays I'll be somewhere and I'll tell you, I'll admit, the only kind of shopping I like to do is grocery shopping. So
Okay.
it happens a lot of grocery stores where someone will come up and they'll have a little kid with them, and they will say, well, when I was 8 years old, like my son, my daughter, I began watching you on the TV station, on WCNC TV. And it's just meeting people who look at you as part of their life, as
Yeah.
part of their family, and as part of someone that they've seen for many, many years. And it's that kind of fellowship that you get out in the community, meeting people, and it's people of all ages, people of all varieties who come up and say, "We're just glad you're there." And that's the one part I'll miss from not being on the air, is the fact that those people kind of depend on you, but I'll still be here.
Those people will still be coming up to you in the grocery store.
They sure will,
Yeah.
and I look forward to that. And it's always a fun time. I may, when I'm at a grocery store, I may give the forecast 5 or 6 times before I leave.
Between the deli and the dairy.
Well, yeah, and I'll continue to do that, and always enjoy that. Never get tired of it. People, do you ever get tired of it? No, it just means people like you and they depend on you, and they want to talk to you. So that's important. I want to talk to you.
A community man at heart. We look forward to your continued community stories featured on WCNC.
Thank you.
Good luck at the ball game on Wednesday, and then your chance to go out and see him as the 40th anniversary celebration of Larry Sprinkle continues throughout the Charlotte area on Friday and Saturday. And you won't be far away. So, Larry, thank you for taking the time to sit down.
Thank you.
And for putting up with me.
Anytime. We'll do it again.
Well,
Part two.
Part two. That does it for this edition of the Carolina Weather Group. I'm James Brierton. Talk to you again real soon.